Greetings, Wastelanders. Regan here with another Fallout 76 crafting materials guide. This time we're going to be farming lead as if we didn't have an excavator suit. That's right, we're doing it the hard way. We're hitting the gyms. And just as a reminder, if this video is helpful to you in any way, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Not only does it help out this channel, but it helps more viewers like you find content like this. So first off, if we're going to spend any significant amount of time farming, then we might as well get a bit of passive materials coming our way. There are 3 easier workshops that we can take that have lead resources in them, and while we're at it, we might as well grab a 4th for acid. Start with hemlock holes in the Toxic Valley for acid, or smelting juice as it's being referred to on Facebook these days, Grafton Steel for lead and steel, and Lakeside Cabins and Poseidon Energy in the forest for lead. There's no need to build up defenses, mobs usually leave resources alone, and we'll be checking back and clearing out the workshops from time to time. It's also easier and quicker to take back a workshop than it is to defend one. Once that's taken care of, let's pull out Appalachia, and this time, instead of looking for lead scrap, which will pollute our search with minuscule hits, we're going to do a search for weight in the standard search, add all these various weights into our map, and update the map. This gives us a much more refined search and makes running through each zone more worthwhile. Keep in mind, a lot of these areas are outside the forest, and you could run into max level mobs. Take your time and drop off loot as often as you can. I'll point out workbenches and stash boxes as we go. If you have Fallout First, I recommend using your tent as often as you can, and if some of these spots are too high a level for you, then skip them and come back later. The lead will respawn, just like you, over and over and over. Starting up north, we have the Palace of the Winding Path, Eastern Regional Penitentiary, Pleasant Valley Ski Resort, Green Country Lodge, Charleston Fire Department, the Killbox, the Sludgeworks, Hornwright Estate, and finally the Monorail Elevator. Interior locations don't show up on Appalachia and include VaultTech University and the missile silos, though we'll be skipping over the latter in this video. Let's map on up to Palace of the Winding Path, head towards the main entrance, and take the door to the right of the stairs. Taking all right-hand turns and following this green hull down will bring us to a room with a few weights on the ground. There's some workbenches in the basement, so let's break those down before we leave. Next, head on over to Eastern State Regional Penitentiary. The exercise yard has a lot of weights left over, and there's a convenient entrance on the right side for us to cut through. Take out the super mutants, gather the weights, and break them down in the shed right here. Note, this is a popular spot to gather lead, and coupled with the fact that there's 2 events that can trigger here, the weights just aren't here sometimes. You can either server hop, skip this location, or farm on a private server like I am. If you need to drop off lead in a stash box, you can stop at the Morgantown station on the way out. Next stop is VaultTech University. There's 2 weight rooms here, and I rarely find them empty. Start with the center building, go down the right side, and enter through the door there. The first door on the right is the gym. Head back outside and cross the courtyard towards the other building. Once inside, zigzag into the hall, go right, and open the sliding door at the end of the hall on the right. Descend downstairs until you get to the Overseer's office. Open the door with the terminal and head downstairs. On the lower level just to your right is the exercise area, though you can't loot the weights on the racks. If you're overburdened, head back up the same way you came, otherwise map back outside to grab a bench. There's one in Sanjay's shop in the Morgantown by the back on the B terminal. Once you've broken down your weights, map on over to Pleasant Valley Station to drop off the lead, and cross the tracks and head up the hill to hit the resort. Head up to the second to last set of stairs, looking at the top of the world, and there'll be a box of weights to your left. And don't pick up the cannonballs, they can't be broken down, but if you do, they're under ammo. Under the awning behind the Cutthroat Crag sign is a workbench. Next, map over to the Green Country Lodge, loot the gym just off the pool area, and follow the river south until you find a workbench behind one of the houses. If you continue to follow the main road to the Red Rocket Station, there's a stash box inside there. This is another popular location, so if you find this one empty, you can either server hop or come back later. Next stop's the Charleston Fire Department, and probably the most popular location for lead. Head towards the door next to the trading post sign, and once inside, head through the door opposite you and step through the hole in the wall to the right. Loot up all the weights, making sure to grab the cleverly hidden ones, head through the door, take a left and a right to find a few workbenches. There's reportedly a stash box somewhere in here, but I can't seem to find it. The next closest one is inside the rusty pick. Next, head over to the Killbox. If you haven't been there before, it's just up the road to the east from the rusty pick. Look for the 2-story shack built up in the courtyard behind the house, take the stairs next to the piano outside, and at the top there's a pile of weights to your left. Before we move on, if you don't have the Hornwright keycard, because I didn't, it's best to pick it up now while you're in the area. Head over to the Hornwright Summer Villa, head down the stairs to the left to the basement, and pick up the Hornwright Estate Access keycard on the cart. Next, head down to the Sludgeworks, and depending on your level, start carefully picking off the Blood Eagles there. Once you've cleared them out, follow the wall to the left of the door as you're coming in, and there's some weights on the ground near the Tinker's Bench. There's a red rocket station with a stash box just to the north on the opposite side of the road. Assuming you have the keycard, head down to the Hornwright Estate and take the elevator to the top floor. Be very cautious if you're not a high level yourself, as there are assaultrons that patrol here. Take the stairs immediately to the left, turn right past the pool table and the weird white vegetation thing, and take the door on the left. The gym is inside. The closest stash box is at Lewisburg Station to the north, and it's highly recommended to get rid of all junk now before we continue. Our last stop is at the Monorail Elevator, close to the border of the Cranberry Bog. While there isn't anything that spawns here, it's a long run if you don't have the location discovered, and there isn't a single stash box nearby. The amount of lead and concrete here, however, make this worth it, and isn't a problem if you have Fallout first. Look for the elevator door to your left as you load in, and take that all the way to the top. Follow the catwalk further up, loot the weights and bags of cement, and carefully cross the wooden planks to loot the rest. Either retrace your steps or again carefully hop back down to the catwalk below to take the elevator down and begin your long trek back to Foundation. Oh yeah, it's a long hike. You may even want to map back and forth to Foundation a few times to make sure you can get all this lead back safely. Additionally, if you look for gears, screws, and springs as you go, you may even find that you've passed the 250 item mark and your loot pool will have begun resetting. If you have room in your stash, you can repeat the process. That's going to wrap things up, folks. As always, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people like you looking for guides find videos like this. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and click the bell to stay up to date on more Fallout 76 content. I'm Kragan, reminding you that gyms aren't just for New Year's resolutions, they're also great for ammo.